Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Success EQ Coffee Hour, where we dive into the whole world of customer success and explore the strategies, skills, stories that drive excellence in this field. I'm your host, Kritika, and today we have a really special guest here with us, Ankit. He's a senior manager at customer success operation and enablement at MoEngage. He has won so many awards in our field. He has implemented India's largest customer success community. So, welcome to the show, Ankit. It's a pleasure to have you.
Kritika. It's happy to be here.
Before we dive into our questions, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us how did you land up in customer success?
Sure, Kritika. I think that's a wonderful question because, everyone has this question, how do I land into customer success? And for most of the people, it's accidental.
Mhm.
And if I tell you my story, that also happened with me. So I started my career as a developer because I completed my graduation. I did my engineering back in 2013. And then I started as a developer, followed the path, project manager, team lead, did that stuff. But I wanted to do something which is closer to the product and closer to the customers. And then there were only two positions that were satisfying this. The first one was product manager, and the second one was customer success manager. Um, One time I was accidentally given this position. I was like, hey, uh, and I still remember it was like 2015 or 16, to be honest, when I was given this title. And I was like, hey, what is customer success? Because back then, at least in India, nobody knew about customer success. So I had this title, but the things progressed, and I got to know a little bit more. Internet progress. We had content about customer success, and I was like, "Hey, this is where I want to be," and that's where basically, I just researched about customer success, and I never looked back. So that's how I landed up, and that's how I have progressed. And then I noticed that there is a problem, at least here in India, wherein people there are a lot of people in customer success, but they are not sharing their knowledge. So I thought to myself, why not create a community that can help others who want to be part of customer success or who want to learn about this field, and that's how I created the community.
That's such an inspiring story. My journeys was also kind of the same. I have transitioned into customer success. I was doing my MBA in HR, and um, so yeah, for me, it was also like a very accidental thing that happened. And we are going to talk about that today, that how we can navigate career and customer success. You can come from any field, you can go to multiple roles if you have been in customer success industry for some time.
That's right. That's right. You know, uh, this is very important, and this is very beautiful thing about customer success, Kritika, because anyone can move into this field. At least in 2024, it's little tougher because of the job market. But I have seen people moving in from fintech. People were bankers, and now have they do have a job in customer success. How that is possible? Because you need to understand the basics of customer success. See, customer success is mostly B2B plus SaaS plus an industry. For example, the place where I work, MoEngage, is basically MarTech. Now, MarTech plus B2B plus SaaS. Now, if you understand this, anyone who has knowledge of marketing, someone who knows technology, someone who has worked in SaaS, and then he's also in customer facing role, can understand communication. You can easily transition into customer success. So that's what I advise to people generally whenever you are transitioning into customer success. In case you have researched enough and then you feel that customer success is the right thing for you, this is something that you would want to do for next 10 years, then you should particularly look for something which is specific to your industry. For example, if you are a fresher and you have done your MBA in marketing, probably look for something in market. If you are someone who has experience in finance, maybe look for something which is in fintech, right? Because
Yeah,
that is the place where you would be able to share your experience, share your thoughts that, hey, this is how I have done my journey, this is my experience, and this is how you are helping out people. Because essentially in customer success, what happens is you have your customers and then you are helping them out do certain things. For
right.
example, with MoEngage, right? We help marketers to send communications to the end users, right? In case there is someone who is not coming even from customer success, they were customer facing, they know how to communicate, but they have good knowledge of marketing. They can come and they would be able to help other marketers that, hey, this is how you can create your campaigns better. This is how you can make things more effective. And that can create relationship, So that is how you can easily transition into customer success. First, fix an industry, fix where you want to go, and then you would have higher chances of landing a job in that field.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, it's all about those transferable skills. Whatever you are doing, if you feel like you are a subject matter expert in that field, you can easily get a customer success role. And you have to be eager to learn as well. Do you think that people who are freshers, do you think it's for them also it's really easy to be a customer success manager and get into this role because they'll not have anything. They have to start everything from scratch. But do you think it's a lucrative option for these new freshers to join in the field?
Yeah, I think definitely. Why not? Because see, I come, as I mentioned earlier, like I come from engineering background. Now, when you do engineering, a lot of people are like, hey, I want to be a part of technical framework. I want to be a part of this tech industry, but I don't want to code. What are those options for me? Similarly, when people are doing like MBAs and they are graduating from different streams, a lot of people don't want to go mainstream. They don't want to do what others are doing. They want to talk to others. They want to help others, and that's what customer success can offer, right? So that is very much possible. Obviously, it's little hard because they have to understand tech, SaaS, business, all those things together. But I would say it's not impossible. And then we have done it. Even if you see online, you would be able to find that there are companies who are offering customer success internships now,
Mm,
and that is a possibility. So even freshers, if they are coming from a business background, mostly I have seen that the companies which are hiring for freshers, they are asking people to be MBA graduates. Okay, so what they are thinking is that these people would have knowledge about business. They would have, they are passionate, they are young people, and then basically we'll train them on communication part, we'll train them on our tech stack, and then they would be able to handle the customers. Even in our company, we have done that, and it's worked for us.
yeah, I agree. And what about like people who are working probably in support, marketing, sales, any other department? Well, do you think that they can also transition into customer success?
Definitely. I think I have seen a lot of SDRs, people in inside sales moving in from their thing to customer success. I have seen that a lot. Um, Probably because these people are also customer facing. They know how to communicate. They also know how to sell products. And customer success is also becoming more of a revenue oriented these days, right? So that is why it is becoming even easier to move into customer success, especially from sales. But one tip that I have for everyone is if you are into that kind of a role, sales support or whatever, first try to do that within your company. Once you have started your career as a customer success manager in the same company, you would be able to switch also. I've seen that happening, that people are from sales or support. They can transition into customer success, same company, and then basically they can move from one place to another. Because if you're trying to jump ship from one place to another directly from support to customer success, it's more like, hey, you are a fresher. So it becomes really difficult to crack that kind of a job. And let's suppose you have 3 or 4 years of experience, or maybe even more than that. uh, why would you want to go to something where you would be treated like a fresher, where your pay is like a fresher? The best thing that you can do right now is probably shift to customer success within your own company, and then probably learn it for a while and see, if it's really a thing for you. Because there is one thing that I want to mention, Priyanka. A lot of people think that customer success is the best thing in the world. Obviously, we enjoy it, but it's not there for everyone, right?
So
Not
true.
everyone can enjoy it. It has own challenges, right? So people should get into it first, try to understand it. If it's something that they want to do for the next 5 to 10 years, if they really want to do it, they can stick to it. Otherwise, they can actually go back to the things that they were doing earlier. And I've seen people doing that too. So that is always possible.
Yeah, I agree. And we are going to deep dive into challenges also later in this conversation. But I 100% agree with you. If someone wants to transition into customer success from any other department, definitely recommend doing it there first because you already know the product, you already know the people. So people are going to be you'll have like a lenient learning curve. You don't have to learn everything,
Yeah,
um, and that transition could be easier for you. So,
definitely.
what do you think? Like, what are your recommendation when people are thinking about these transition? How can they best prepare for it um, from any of these roles if they are trying to move into customer success?
I think one thing that people should understand is the revenue metrics or the key jargons that customer success managers use. For example, if you're transitioning in from support or you're transitioning in from sales, these are two different things altogether. Because if you are transitioning in from sales, you are doing a lot of work verbally, right? You are communicating with customers on calls and all. You are also writing emails. You understand revenue, you understand SaaS and all those things. But when you come from, let's say, support, you're mostly technical. You're communicating with customers mostly on emails or via chat. And then your approach is more sort of reactive. You need
Mm,
to change the way you think. Okay. So my tip for both of these things would be different. In case you're transitioning in from support, it would be different. In case you are doing it from sales, it is going to be different. But the essence is same. You should understand what customer success managers are doing. For example, if when I ask people what customer success managers do, a lot of people say, hey, we reduce churn or we save customers or we do this, we do that, we do upsells, we do cross sells. But that's not customer success. When we say customer success, it is made up of two words, customer plus success. We have to ensure that our customers succeed because when our customers succeed, we also succeed. In case, let's say they are paying us $100 per month, they should get value out of it. They should be able to make at least like what, let's say $500 to $1,000 per month. And in case they are getting that, they are getting the ROI. In case they are getting that ROI, they would be happy to pay us. And that's where our success lies. Okay. So once you try to understand that sort of essence, what customer success managers are doing, what kind of day-to-day job it is, what kind of challenges there are, you can achieve success in this field. Uh, in case you are in the same company, what you can always do is try to sit with the customer success manager and see, what kind of challenges they face daily, what kind of things that they are doing, Are they doing QBRs? Are they doing something else? Because if we talk about QBR also, this is something which nobody else do, right? So it's something which is very particular to customer success. So they have to learn all these metrics. So what I'm trying to say here is, in case you want to succeed in this field, you have to change your mindset a bit certain times. For example, if you're coming at from support, you have to be proactive rather than being reactive. If you are coming in from sales, you have to be empathetic. You have to solve the queries instead of being salesy. Or maybe if you're coming in from another field, let's say data, you have to be a good communicator. That's how you will be able to achieve the customer. So try to understand those things if you are in the office, as we discussed earlier. In case you are shifting internally, try to understand what customer success managers are doing. Be friend with them, sit across to them, and then you would learn a lot of those things which nobody would be able to tell you.
Yeah. So that's a really, really helpful advice. Yeah, we just don't stand there at water cooler and complain about our
Yes,
customer. We do a lot of other things as well. So try to get in touch with us, see what we do, how we do it. That's where you can
that's how you learn.
understand what it's all about. And 100%, it's about driving value to the customer. That's what we do. Like, what are the challenges you feel these people are going to face when they'll come, and how, like, so that they can be aware about what exactly is happening, and then we can also touch upon what can they do to overcome those challenges.
Yeah, I think if people are transitioning from one field to another, especially into customer success, the biggest challenge that they might face is, the accountability part, right?
Mm,
Because let's take example of support, right? In support, you are not accountable to one customer. There are like 10 tickets coming in your way. You handle them, you solve them out, you try to coordinate with product team, engineering team, whatever so far, and then you reply, and then basically it's done. But that thing doesn't happen in customer success. You take end-to-end responsibility of a customer, right? Even if it's a sales problem, it's a support problem, you have to take care of them because they know your company, you are the face of the company. It's not that, hey, I would create a support ticket for it, or, I would reach out to the different team for this. You are the face of the company, and then you have to solve that out. So accountability becomes the biggest part, and it becomes the biggest responsibility in terms of customer success. Even if you're coming from sales, what happens in sales is that you close an account and then you move on. But that doesn't happen, right? You get a customer in customer success, and then you have to handhold them. You have to make sure that you nurture them well, you treat them well. In case there are any upsell possibilities, you basically trying to do those upsells, case studies, events, all those things you have to do. You have to make sure that they are happy so that they keep paying for the subscription. You have to make sure that they are not going away somewhere. You have to ensure that they get success. You have to ensure that their businesses are also doing good, because obviously, in case their business is not doing good, how are they gonna pay you? So all those things, and you have to have a 360-degree view of everything, not even just about a customer. You have to have that kind of view about the industry, that account planning, having that kind of mindset, thinking about uh, the whole logistics. That becomes really important in customer success. And I think that's where most of the people transitioning in from other fields, they would face challenges.
yeah, absolutely. It's I don't know where I heard it. It was long back, that sales is probably like an affair and customer success is like a marriage. So you have to be there in those thick and thin
Yeah,
situation with your customers. And yeah, marriages can be scary. So you have to be fully accountable, take the ownership of the end-to-end relationship and invest yourself from all point of view, be it knowing what's happening outside, be it knowing what's happening inside your company, fight for them. So yeah, it's definitely like a complete marriage that you have. And you
definitely.
need
Yes.
to have that sixth sense as well, be proactive to understand as to what is happening, what's going to happen, be able to forecast. I've seen it actually that it is some of these aspects are really difficult for people who are transitioning or coming new in customer success. So we talked about customer success and people transitioning into customer success, but there are so many different avenues in customer success these days.
Yeah.
Initially, it was just customer success managers, and then you become a manager, you become a director, so on and so forth. But right now, since we have evolved so much in last
Yeah.
probably 5 to 6, 10 years, there's so many different avenues. So I want you to guide people on that as well. Like, what do you think? Like, even in customer success, what all things people can do?
There are actually a lot of things, Kritika. So I have seen positions like project manager, customer success, program manager, customer success. Even I do ops and enablement. So there are many avenues, as you mentioned. And that's a good thing because if you want to be a part of customer success function and you are good with any other skill, basically that's where you can shine. For example, let's say you know how to use Tableau, you are good with Excel, you can automate a lot of things. What you can do is you can probably get into CS operations. For example, you want to create marketing campaigns, you want to uh, basically uh, connect with customers, you do webinars and all. You can even become program manager, customer success, or customer marketing manager. If you have passion for, let's say, learning and development, you want to train people, you can even become customer success enablement manager. So there are many avenues. So what companies are trying these days is, they want to strengthen customer success function so that they have they have a lot of knowledge, and then they can do more decisions. For example, let's suppose there is a company which has like 50 CSMs. Now, in a company of 50 CSMs, there would be a lot of work, lot of operational work, I mean. So, let's suppose, and actually, I wanted to mention this because I ran a survey like 2 days ago, and I asked generally, how much time do you spend doing operation work as a CSM? And around 55% of people mentioned that they spend around 5 to 6 hours per week doing operations work. Now, that is like, a lot of time that you are spending on operational work. When you get a person who is into CS ops, who is doing operations, you basically optimize all your processes. You make sure all your playbooks, all your data is in place, and then you spend less time doing the operational work and more time doing the strategic work, which CSMs should be doing. And basically, once you have CS ops, your CSMs are more effective, your churn rate improves, and even you can do a lot of upselling. And once a lot of these things are central, you have a lot of data in place. So you can also do data-driven decisions, right? So you can see, hey, what was working, what was not working, what led to this kind of churn, uncontrollable churn, how much uncontrollable churn we have, controllable churn, how much we had, what was the reason for that, and all the other stuff. So you can do a lot of data research once you have all that thing. Similarly, let's say a company which is launching a lot of features. In case you operate in a company wherein your company launches a lot of features. Now, if you are a team of 50 CSMs, what happens is, how do you keep yourself updated with those features? Because if there are so many features coming, you tend to miss out on that. they need someone who can do enablement for all of these features. Someone who can tell you, hey, this is the feature you can use here. This is the feature that you can use there. This is how you should be using this particular feature for a particular customer in the industry. So basically, a person and enablement can help you out to sort out the use cases and share, hey, these are the best practices being followed across the customer success function. And we talked about these two things. There is project manager as well. Let's say you have done some certifications in project management and you want to become a part. This is especially relevant in terms of implementation and onboarding, because if you have an onboarding team and you have large projects, you would need people who can dedicatedly manage a project. Because if you don't have a team who can not manage projects, there are going to be delays. And in case there are long delays, what happens is you are not getting any revenue. Because in most of the cases, what happens is you don't get the revenue until the customer goes live. So the
Yeah.
project manager's job is to make sure that projects are within the timeline, and then basically all the deliverables are met. So there are a lot of avenues. A lot of companies are exploring a lot of things. But what I have seen so far, customer success ops is the most common one. Digital customer success is one of them, which is also getting very popular, where you use tools, HubSpot, and all of those marketing tools to reach out to the customer. Basically, you are not connected with your customers one to one. And enablement, customer success enablement is also catching up these days.
And the big CS teams, I don't think they can run without CS
Yeah.
ops these days. They
Yes.
can learn about enablement. They can run without marketing, CS marketing.
Yeah.
So definitely. And we talked about different roles, where they can come from. I also feel like what they should prepare for, or how they can appear in that interview, shine in that interview, is something that our listener would love to know from you. Since you help a lot of people, you mentor a lot of people in the community. So, give us some tips that people can use when they are appearing for interview, and how can they outshine themselves?
Sure, Kritika. I think, see, the biggest thing that you have to understand as a candidate is try to understand what they are looking for. See, what I personally feel, Kritika, is a lot of times, a lot of companies don't craft their JD very well. Job descriptions are not crafted very well. You look at any job description in customer success, you feel that, hey, you are the right person for this job because you tick all those check boxes.
Yeah.
But that is not the case most of the time. And it's not your fault as a candidate.
Mm.
It's that, maybe the employers sometimes don't know what they are looking for until they interview like 50 candidates. That's not a part of job description so far, but try to understand it from people in the company. Try to understand it from the HR. Try to understand it from the product, what they would be looking for. For example, let's suppose you are applying to a company which is operating into fintech domain. Do you have knowledge of fintech? In case you have it, you should explicitly mention it in your resume so that you can pass on the ATS thing. In case you feel that your resume didn't go through, what you can always do is you can try finding HR's email or the hiring manager's email via websites like hunter.com or something, where you can actually find the domain, email address, and all. You can do a quick search on LinkedIn, and you should be able to find hiring manager or the talent person for the job. What you can also do is you can also network, try to send connection requests to people in the company, try to send a connection request to the hiring manager or customer success managers or TA. In most of the cases, you might still get a rejection, but let's suppose even if um, your connection request is accepted, and then you are able to connect with a customer success manager, you would exactly know what they are looking for. And once you have that information, you can utilize it and maybe draft a cover letter or a message to the hiring manager that, hey, this is how I satisfy those criteria. And one thing that you would also have is a referral. And to be honest, referral can change a lot of things because at times what happens is, when you're applying for a job via job portal, thousands of candidates have applied to that job. Now, how do you stand out is in your hands. What you can do is you can connect with hiring managers, CSMs, at least get a referral from anyone in the company. And that's how you would be able to outshine. Try to understand what kind of needs they have and mention it in the message. So we were speaking about a fintech. Let's say there is this fintech company hiring. Do you know about fintech? Even if you don't have experience of fintech, let's suppose you have done MBA in finance like 5 years ago. You mention it out that, hey, I have done MBA in finance and this is my experience. Or let's say you invest in stocks and then you have done something. You can mention it as well. At least this is better than not doing anything. And then you also mention the other things which they have mentioned in the job description or what their industry is doing. Maybe you can also look at their competitors and then try to analyze few of those things which they ask in their GD. Because if they are asking for something, their competitor is also asking for the same thing. So you try to analyze all those things together and then you pitch yourself. Because essentially, when you are looking out for a job, you're selling yourself. So be the best self, try to find out what they are looking for, get a referral, and don't hesitate to speak. In case no one is replying, try to get connection requests, try to cold email them. There is no harm. Nobody's speaking about it. For my last job, I had to get 5 referrals, and the fifth referral got me a job. So you have to be persistent. You have to try a lot of times, then only it works.
All right, so I'm going to conclude, but I want to know one more thing from you. You have done some excellent job in creating this community. What do you think are some resources out there which are very easily accessible and people can leverage them when they are trying to create their career or trying to scale their career in customer success? Or what are some resources that you think are out there that people can use?
I think there are some good resources out there. Obviously, you can Google for a particular topic and then you can find information around it. But I think the best information that you can get is from courses as well as from LinkedIn. So you should follow some of those leaders. So what you can do is go to Success Hacker. You would find a list of top 100, top 25 customer success strategists. You can follow them and try to see what kind of content they are writing. And then you would know what kind of trends are there in customer success. In case you are very new to customer success, I would recommend you taking a course in customer success. For example, Success Hacker is a good one. Practical CSM is also a good one. It's very thorough. You can take it up. In case you don't want to invest that kind of a money, there's a little hack as well. If you have never subscribed to LinkedIn Premium, you can go get a trial. You would get access to LinkedIn Learning as well. You can search for customer success. You would find a lot of modules there. And then it would help you understand what are those basics of customer success. There are good books as well, but I don't generally recommend any books as such because there are so many these days that they have become more specific. Um, what I generally do is, the, the best part in case you really want to learn is try to find a community, try to find a meetup that is happening in your country or in your city because uh, that can help you a lot. First, you get to network with a lot of people. Second thing, you get to meet people in person. Let's suppose you met person X today, and then you are applying to a job, maybe, after 6 months, you can actually mention this out. Hey, Mr. X, I met you on that meetup 6 months ago, and I felt that whatever you mentioned on this topic was really powerful. And then it's an immediate connect between you and that person. So it helps you in building that bond. And third thing is, when you are a part of these meetups, you will get to know what is happening during the networking sessions. You would be able to learn how is customer success different from each company, in each company, and then how people are solving those problems. So you would not only learn from the people who are on the panel, the people who are speaking, but also from the peer, and you are expanding your network anyways. So I think that's the best way to go forward in this field.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I know there are very few meetups that happen in India, but whenever it's happening, I'm forwarding to my team, to my friends to go participate in that. I feel like that's an excellent way, especially since a lot of people are remote, still remote these days,
Yeah.
or in hybrid working situation. Meetups are great ways to learn more, to know what's happening, what are the latest trends which are happening in the industry.
One thing that you can always do, there are communities on Slack, there are communities on WhatsApp. In case you are remote, you are not a part of those big cities like Bangalore, Delhi, where all these meetups happen. Do try to be a part of these communities, because they also do virtual meetups. So
Oh,
you
nice.
can still be a part of it and get a hang of it.
Oh, that's wonderful. I was not aware of this. So yeah, I will. I am part of certain groups, but I didn't know that there are meetups happening virtually as well.
Yeah, for example, the newest community that we have built, we do monthly office hours. So we speak on a topic, so we discuss, let's say, QBR 1 month, we discuss the upsells next month, and then we try to understand what's happening. And then we also give that summary on LinkedIn, as well as for our community members who could not join that call. So that's how we keep the learning flowing.
Wonderful. I'm definitely going to join your next office hour. All
Yeah,
right.
sure.
Thank you so much, Ankit, for spending so much time with us, giving us such great tips and sharing your expertise. It's been a pleasure having you on the show today.
Same here, Kritika. It was wonderful speaking with you and sharing my knowledge. And have a great day.